Welcome back to class. Let's go ahead and bow in. Chair up. Kunye. Today I've got with me Stephen Pedro. He's going to help us out throughout this class. You're going to be doing whatever he's doing the entire time. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with our warm-up. Let's start with just heels to our glutes. We're just trying to warm up our hamstrings while we're doing this. Make sure you keep breathing. Just get that blood flowing. You can put your hands back here to hit your heels if you'd like, but you don't have to. If you want to just use them in front, that's fine also. Keep breathing. And now we're going to move on to high knees, or just knees up to at least our belt level. You can put your hands out here and just try to tap your knees as you're doing this. Again, we're just getting that blood flowing, trying to warm up. Now let's go ahead and get in a sparring stance. We're going to hop back and forth just a little bit. Back, forth, back, forth. Our hands are nice and relaxed. Our guard's up. And switch. Same thing, back and forth. Switch. Switch. And let's go ahead and relax. Circle your head. You can go one way once and one way the other time if you feel like that. If you want to keep going the same way a few times, that's also fine. Make sure you're not rushing too much with this. We don't want to hurt our neck. Arms out and trunk twist. Make sure you turn all the way, but keep your feet planted. We're trying to warm up our back at this point. Good. Now, hands on your hips. Keep your feet right where they are, and hip twists. Spread your feet out just a little bit, and I want you to reach for your right toes. Make sure you're not holding your breath, breathing at all times. And let's move over to the left. With this one, you should be feeling it in the outer portion of your leg, but also a little bit into your hamstrings. Feet together. Now we're going to go down. We're going to touch our toes and come right back up and push our hips forward. Breathe in and out. Each time you go down, try to go down just a little bit further. Remember, as we do this, we want to try not to circle our back like this. We don't want to cat back at this point. We want to try to keep our back straight as we go down. We're trying to isolate our hamstrings and not use our back in these stretches. Now what I want you to do, I want you to grab one of your legs, and we're going to stretch our quads. Remember, if it is too easy at this point, you can stick it back and pull the foot in towards you to get an even better stretch on top of your quad. Try to keep your balance. And go ahead and switch. If you're falling all over the place, go ahead and hold on to a wall or something. We don't want you falling. We're more concerned with getting the stretch right now than working on our balance. Good. Now let's move on to some of our kicks. Let's put our right foot behind us in our sparring stance. We're bouncing a little bit. We're just getting ready for our first kick. So we're going to do a front snap kick. You have the choice of either doing it with the ball of your foot or with your instep, whichever one you'd like. On my count. And in. Make sure you breathe. Set. Net. Yes. Pushing your hips forward. Yes. Feel good? Hiro. Up. And And switch. Same thing. Hane. 2. Set. Net. Dasun. Yasun. Good. Yero. Ahub. Yul. And switch your feet. Now we're going to do our roundhouse kick. We're going to do the variation of our roundhouse kick where our knee comes straight up first instead of around. When we get up here, we're going to pivot, make sure our head, hip, and knee are all in a straight line. Kick, retract, and bring it back behind us. On my count. 3. Set. Net. Dasut. Yasut. Ilgub. Yero. Ahub. Yul. Bounce and reverse switch. Other side, roundhouse kick. Hane. 2. Set. Remember, pivot on the ball of the foot. Net. Dasut. Yasut. Good. Breathe. Yero. Ahub. Yul. Take a breath. And switch our legs. Now we're going to move on to our side kick. Remember, side kick, we're using the heel of our foot as we kick. So as we're fully extended out, our head, hip, and heel are all going to be in one straight line. On my count, side kick. Hane. 3. Set. Net. Yasut. Yasut. Good. Yero. Ahub. Yul. And switch. Same thing with our other leg now. Ready? Hane. 3. Set. Net. Dasut. Yasut. Good. Yero. Ahub. Yul. And take a breath in and out. Breathe in and out. In and out. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to take a step back with our left leg into our sparring stance. I want you to step back with your right leg. We're going to go over our back kick now. So we're going to break this kick down into 3 counts. When we're facing our target's directly in front of us. Count number 1 is going to be turning both of our feet so our heels face our target. That's 1. Notice both of my heels are facing the target. I'm looking forward, still eyeballing my target. 2, I'm going to turn my head all the way around. In the corner of my eye, I'm going to see my target. 3, with my back leg, I'm going to kick straight back and hit my target. I retract and I set it down. Scoot back. Now, if you notice, you should have your right leg in front now. We're going to do the same thing. So we're alternating sides each time. If you do the same side over and over, you're going to get dizzy. So we're going to alternate. On my count. 1, we turn our heels. 2, we look and we see our target. 3, we kick straight back right into our target. Notice how he hit right in the center of my hands, which is exactly what I wanted him to do. If he had not turned his head and looked, I guarantee he would have missed. So we always want to make sure that we see our target at all times. Go ahead and do it with us. 1, heels turn. 2, eyes lock on. 3. We kick straight back, rechamber, and get ready. Go ahead and switch your feet. As we rechamber for this one, I want you to kick, retract it, and set it right down in front. 1, 2, see your target. 3, kick straight back. Good job. 1, 2, see your target. 3. Go ahead and scoot back just a little bit, please. 1, turn your heels. I'm still looking at my target. 2, still looking at my target. 3, kick straight back. Land right here in front. 1, 2, 3. Remember, as we do our side kick, say if I was kicking my my back kick, excuse me, if I was kicking my partner right here, I do not want to reach with my toes as I do this. All that's going to happen is my toes are going to end up bending, and then I might hit with my heel, but we don't reach. We either hit our target or we don't hit our target. If we constantly reach, all that's going to happen is a little tap. It's not going to hurt anyone. We want to have that driving power with our heel. So we pull our toes and our foot back so that as I make impact, I'm hitting right with my heel, right into wherever my target is. Don't ever reach with your toes on this. A few more by the numbers. 1, turn your heels. 2, look over your shoulder. 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now, if you have something that you can aim at, say a punching bag, I would like you to go ahead and put, say, an X on your punching bag. Put it with maybe tape, something that you can easily remove, but it gives you a smaller target to aim for. If you have a partner or something that can hold up a pad, especially if it has a symbol right in the middle, that's where you want the heel going at with this. Right now, we're not going to be working on putting that power in because power means nothing if we can't hit our target. So we want to work on our accuracy. I'm going to say just one count, and that's going to be all 3 counts. So it's going to be turn your heels, look over your shoulder, kick straight back. I want you to do this on my count with whatever target that you've specified. Again, try to get the smallest target that you can and place your heel right on it. I'm not looking for speed right now. I'm not looking for power. Nothing but accuracy. On my count. Hana. Do the whole count, the whole kick. Good. So we're doing the entire kick on 1 count. 2. Set. Good. Net. Yesut. Yesut. Is it good? Yero. Up. Yol. Remember, whenever we're doing our back kick, I want your knees to go right by each other as we're doing our kick. So our toes are almost pointed down. They might be pointed 30 degrees off to the side, but they're pointed this way. My knee is going to be pointed straight down. I want you to avoid picking your knee up where there's this gap in between here as you kick. There's a few things that's going to do. 1, you're going to be more likely to impact with the side of the foot or the entire foot instead of the heel. 2, if you have a lot of spinning momentum with it, instead of kicking in a straight line like you're looking for, it might throw you way off to the side. It might turn it into a side kick. We're looking for that back kick. So remember, we turn, we look. The way the foot moves is my heels come together, or my knees come together, excuse me. My heel comes up, and I shoot it straight back. And that's how we're going to do our back kick. Remember, it's like a donkey. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do another set of these. Still for accuracy and technique. We're not working on speed at this time. Good. Make sure you breathe with each kick. Set. Net. Yes. Yes. Is it good? Yero. Ahop. Yo. Take a breath in. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to move on to our push kick. So Remember, our push kick is kind of like our front kick that we do with our heel. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring our knee up to our chest. We're going to point the entire bottom of our foot at our target. So not our toes, not down like this, our entire bottom of our foot. And as we do this and we extend, my hip goes past my bottom foot. This is a very difficult kick to be able to kick out and bring back because you are putting all your momentum into this kick. And remember, in order for it to be a push kick, the power has to be applied after contact is made with your opponent. So I have my opponent right here. If I just boom and put all my power into this kick, that's going to be a front kick. I'm putting that power, I'm impacting. What I'm trying to do with this is I want to make contact and then push. That's going to move him back compared to have just a punching power. So it's the difference between if I put my fist on your face and I do this, your head's going to move. If I impact and then I retract back, there's going to be a lot more pain in that region, which is good, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for an off-balancing type motion with this in order to get my opponent moving back. If he's stumbling off balance, it's very hard for my opponent to defend. So that's what we're looking for in this. Not so much to hurt them, but to get them off balance and moving backwards. So remember, our heel or our entire foot comes up. We push forward. And like I said, you're most likely going to land right here. We're just going to retract it back, and we're going to continue again. So we're going to do 10 on each side on my count. And bring it back. Pushing forward with those hips. Set. Net. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is good. Get over. Up. Yeah. And switch our feet. Remember, if you do need a counterbalance with this, as in our hands, what I want you doing is I want you imagining you're elbowing backwards. That way our hands still stay up here compared to kicking and throwing them all the way back here, and they have a long range to move back up in order to be able to defend anything. If you need that counterbalance, go ahead and use it, but use it as if you have a person behind you and you're elbowing straight back. That way, the distance from my head to my hands, if I need to block, is only about, say, 6 to 7 inches versus 2.5 feet. So we want a much smaller distance that I have to recover in order to defend myself. Get ready for the other side. Push kick. Set. Net. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is good. You know. Up. Yeah. Now, whatever your target was for our back kick, I want you using that same thing. So we have a small target that we're aiming for. If you have a partner that's able to help you out, that's awesome. They can hold up something like this. If you don't have something like this, your opponent could give you, or your partner could give you a foot 5. So he does that push kick right here on my hand. The smaller the target, the better. It's going to just help with your accuracy. Remember when we're doing this though, bring it up and push those hips forward. If you're able to pass your hips past your toes and bring it back, that's awesome. If you're not able to do that, don't worry about it. You're probably not going to do that in an actual scenario anyways, so it's not a big deal. So get whatever it is. If you had to use a heavy bag and put an X on it, maybe you have a bob and you want to push him in the face, whatever it is, go ahead and grab that, get ready, and we're going to do push kicks. Again, for accuracy, I want the foot to touch and then the power to come, and try to move whatever it is that you're kicking at if you're able to. Ready? Hana. Three. Set. Net. I want you aiming your foot right here. This one. Yes one. Is good. Yero. Ahub. Yol. And go ahead and switch sides. If you have a partner that's doing something like what I'm doing here, and you can ask them to put a little bit of resistance into it, that way you have to put more power in order to be able to push them. Remember, not everyone, go ahead and do a push kick, not everyone goes flying with every kick. Some people are very sturdy, go ahead, and you have to put a lot more into it in order to be able to move. Again, we still are working on our accuracy, so we want to place our foot right where we want it, and then we add the power. So we're doing our other leg now. On my count. Hana. 2. Set. Net. Yasun. Yasun. Is good. Hero. Ahub. Yo. If you guys noticed, whenever we were doing this, I didn't tell him when I was going to resist the most versus when I'm just going to go flying back with the kick. And that's going to be a much more realistic way to practice with a partner, because I might hit him and he might go flying, or I might hit him and then I come back just a little bit because of the stance that he's in is much stronger than mine. So we have to be able to be prepared for all of these, and the only way to prepare for it properly is to not be prepared when it's happening. Practice being unprepared as much as you can. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our solo drill 1, which is essentially just linking together the 2 kicks that we just did. So my partner's going to skip back just a little bit. He's going to do a push kick with his rear leg, and he's going to land it down in front. Say he hit his opponent. They moved back just a little bit, but now they want to re-engage, and now he's going to 1. Exactly. He's going to go ahead and do his back kick. Remember, we have to do our back kicks properly. We're not trying to rush so much that our technique goes out the window. We're still turning our heels, looking over our shoulder, identifying a target, and hitting them with a proper back kick. So I want you to go ahead and do this with us. I'm going to break this, each one, down into 2 counts. So it's going to be Hana is going to be the push kick. Dol is going to be the back kick. On my count. Hana. Dol. Good. Now switch sides. We're going to be alternating each side, because if you do kick that back kick, you're going to end up getting dizzy real fast. Hana. Dol. Hana. Dol. Hana. Dol. Hana. Dol. Make sure we're doing our back kick always above the waist. Hana. Dol. We want our knees together as we're going straight back with these. Hana. Dol. Let's go back just a little bit. Hana. Dol. Dol. And one more. Hana. Dol. And take a breath. The next thing we're going to move on to is we're going to move on to our first self-defense. It's going to be a very basic self-defense, but I've used it. It's really effective, and that's why I like it. So we're going to have our opponent is here, and we're going to start off. If you have somebody, then I want you to have them starting off with using the jab. So that's always going to be their lead hand, just so you kind of get the feel for it first. Later on, we're going to be mixing it up, and you're going to have to use your footwork to get out of the way. But let me go ahead and demonstrate this. So he's going to use a jab. I'm going to start off in a neutral, non-aggressive position. So say this guy, for whatever reason, wants to fight, I put my hands up, I show my palms, saying, hey man, I don't want to fight. I try to de-escalate the situation. So I show him my palms. I have no weapons, I'm not making a fist, but my hands are up, they're ready to protect my face, I'm ready to move. So I'm standing in this neutral position, I don't have one foot back yet, in an aggressive posture, I'm just right here. He decides to throw his jab. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step offline, and I'm going to parry. Remember, as we parry, we don't do our cat paws, we don't bring it all the way down, we just push it offline, and now with my other hand, I'm going to cross. So, you step, whichever one is your back hand becomes your cross, and you're going to aim for the side of the head. If you can aim right behind the ear. You're much more likely to get a knockout with that type of situation. If this guy's being aggressive, just go ahead and hit him right there. So again, he's going to use his jab. I've moved my head. Come right here, please. Turn around, face me, please. So, if his punch is coming right at me, I can't just do this. I'm not going to assume that I'm stronger than him and I can just move his fist out of the way. I'm not even going to assume that my timing is right, and because I could just do this and completely miss and still get hit. So number one thing is I move my head. This just helps to redirect as I move my head out of the way. I completely get offline with this, and then I come right over his own arm for that cross. I like to aim right here in the back, right behind the back of the ear. It's going to be a pretty easy knockout. So I'm here, he punches, I move, and I cross. Again, punch, move, cross. So I want you doing this along with me. Let's go ahead and face this way. My partner is going to be using his lead hand, so you're going to step the same direction as me. We're going to step off with our right, and we're going to parry, and then do our cross. On my count, he's going to punch. Making sure we move our head completely out of the way. Set. Notice how I didn't get hit. I tucked my chin. If you have a training partner with you, I want your training partner to have the realistic intent. If you drop your head, they should come right here. Granted, they probably shouldn't punch you, but they should have that realistic intent right towards your face. So if I count, go, boom, my partner is going to go and he's going to hit me in the head. He's going to realize, okay, I didn't move, but now I know my partner isn't cheating me. What number are we on? 1? Sounds good. Set. Net. Does it. And now we're going to go ahead and switch sides. So he's going to do his, if he wants to, he can switch so that he's still using the lead hand. Or if he wants to stay in the same stance and he wants to punch with the backhand, that's fine also. We just want to be able to realize that the punch is coming from this side now, which means I'm going to move here. Remember though, if this is a real scenario and he punches with this side, but for some reason I thought he was punching with this side, if I moved my head and got out of the way, I didn't get punched. But I have to be cognizant of this hand right here that I'm walking right into. I'm really close to that. So I have to counter back fast and create my distance. So it's not the end of the world if you go the wrong way. It's just not preferable. So we want to try to move to the outside. That way, if he wants to punch me with that other hand, he's got a long turn that he has to do. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, especially if I hit this and I stuff that. It's going to be even more difficult for him to be able to turn his body back the other direction. So now we're going to move to our left side. My partner is going to punch. Set. Net. Does it. Good. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch sides so my partner can get some reps in here. I'm going to start off with my left hand. That means all of you guys are going to move towards your right. Parry, punch, and now we're going to make it a little bit more fun. So the self-defense is just step, parry, punch. We're going to add any kick of your choosing after. So just add a little bit more Taekwondo flavor into this. Remember though, if you're close enough to punch me, you might not be able to do all of your kicks, so some of your kicks might be limited. You might have to, 1, create space in order to do it, cut the angle, whatever you have to do. Just remember that whenever you're practicing this. So I'm going to use my lead hand on my count. Good. Make sure we start in our neutral position. Our feet are here, our hands are up. I'm going to try to add a kick right at the end of this. Set. Good. Whichever kick makes the most sense to you. Net. Yes. Yes. Is good. You know. A hub. Yeah. Good. Now we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to go off to our other side. So I'm going to be standing still with my left leg in front, but I'm going to be using my other hand to punch now. Remember, we have to be able to close the distance in order to be able to actually hit with that first punch. That's going to be the one that's most likely to hit. Follow-on punches and kicks are all going to be dependent. So depending on what your opponent moves. So you parry and you have enough time to get that one punch in, usually going to be able to happen. After that, you're not sure what's going to happen. It's going to be completely up to what your opponent does. So I'm using the other side now. Set. Net. Yes. Yes. Good. You know. A hub. Yeah. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to have my partner standing here facing you. I'm going to count, and he is going to do a punch with either his left arm or his right arm. He's not going to do left, right, left, right. He might do left, left, right, left, right, right. He's going to break the rhythm. It's not going to be one thing and the other. I want you watching him. He's going to go on my count, but I want you to decide which arm that he's punching with, and I want you to step towards the outside, do your block, do your punch, and then if you'd like, add another kick in and get ready for the next punch. On my count. Hane. Watch the way his body moves in order for him to do these punches. Set. Net. Just one punch. Yes. Slow it down a little bit. Yes. You look up. Get out. A hop. Yo. Johanna. You'll do it. A little bit slower. You'll sit. You'll knit. You'll das it. You'll yes it. You'll look up. You'll up. Smooth. Go ahead and take a breath in now. Now we're going to move on to the most fun part of class, conditioning. So we're going to try to make it burn a little bit. So I want you right now to go ahead and grab a chair. Grab anything to take away your balance. This is going to be another one of those where we're working on bringing our leg up. And we're going to be doing side kick circles. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be grabbing onto a wall, a chair, anything, taking away your balance. Remember, as we do our side kick, we want to make sure our head, our hip, and our heel are all in one straight line. Our bottom toes, if we can, we want to point them all the way back. That's going to help us get a little bit better with our kicks, get them a little bit higher later on. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing circles. So One circle is going to start at the bottom, bring it up, around, and then back. If you have a partner, they can help you out. They can hold something up like this, and you can kick and make a circle around it. Of course, if you do not have anybody helping you out, just go ahead and make those circles. We want to try to get those as high as we can when we're on our high point of our circle. So my partner's going to get ready. I'm going to challenge him a little bit. He's going to do whatever side he likes. Remember, we're going to do 3 sets of 10. He's going to go ahead and extend his leg out all the way right now. And then my count, he's going to do 5 one way, and then we're going to switch and do 5 the other way. And do set net. That's it. Remember not to hold your breath. Other way. And do set net. That's it. And switch sides. If you do have somebody holding something, or you just have something that you can kick over and around, try not to touch that target. We want to challenge ourselves and not touch it. Ready? And do set net. That's it. Other direction. And do set net. That's it. And set the leg down. Take a breath in. We're going to go back and we're going to do the other side. That's set 1. Remember, we're doing 3 sets. Prepared. And do set net. That's it. Other way. And do set net. That's it. Switch sides. And do set net. That's it. Other way. And do set net. That's it. Set it down. Last one, last one. Shake them out a little bit if you need to. You can do your little side swings this way. Help out a little bit, getting it ready. Get a little bit of lactic acid moving around in there. And prepared. And do set net. That's it. Switch. And do set net. That's it. And switch sides. Prepared. And do set net. That's it. Other way. And do set net. That's it. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And good job. Go ahead and set it down. Now we're going to cool down a little bit, and we're going to get a little bit of stretching. So you probably feel it a little bit in your glutes and some in your abductors. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and with our left leg, step in front of our right leg. Now we're going to shoot our hip out to the right. We want to be stretching right in here. Make sure our right leg is completely locked out when we're doing this. And we want to go completely sideways. Try not to lean forward too much. But if you have to adjust a little bit in order to get the stretch right where you need it, go ahead and do that. That's perfectly fine. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Now we're going to do a socket stretch facing that direction. Whichever side you want to start with, no problem. Remember, we're trying to push our hip down to the ground. Relax. Let that stretch right there on the inside in your adductors. And rotate. Remember, you can push on your knee, lean back to get that right on the top of your leg. And socket stretch to the other side. Make sure you breathe. Don't hold your breath whenever you're stretching. If you feel something that's really tight, remember, we're going to play those mental games with it. Focus on it. Tell that part of your body to relax, and you can go a little bit further. Relax it. Remember, when you're trying to focus on muscles that are tensing up, chances are they're going to tense up just a little bit more right before they relax. So it's okay. Go ahead and rotate. Now we're going to drop down on one side. We're going to use our elbow to push away. Push our knee away. You should be feeling this right here on the inside. Switch sides. Breathe. Make sure we're never holding our breath. Switch sides again. Now we're going to reach with our opposite hand and try to touch our toes. Try to keep your back straight and drop it down. We want a nice hamstring stretch on this one. Switch sides. Same thing. Reach all the way across. Try to touch those toes. Bring your chest close to your knees if you can. Trying not to arc or bend your back too much. Try to keep it straight as we drop it down. Now what I want you to do, I want you to get in this position right here. I want you to drop one of your knees down. And now with that back leg, I want you to grab your toes and bring it in close to you. Might have a little bit of trouble with your balance, that's fine. When we do this, please do this on a mat. It's going to be much more comfortable than if you're doing it on hardwood. And we don't want our knee cap, the top part of our knee, right there on the ground. We kind of want the upper portion right above the kneecap on the mat. That's what's going to be able to get you a little bit more stretch and a little bit more comfortable. We're going to stand up and we're going to go the other direction. So we get in this position, drop our knee down. Notice the point of my knee is on the mat right now, but as I lean forward to do this, I'm going to be more on the top part of the knee is where all the pressure is going to be compared to in the center of it. If it's a little bit hard, you can come straight up with it to get more of a stretch. Lean, push your hips down more, and pull this in. And let's go ahead and stand up. If you have somebody that you're working with, always make sure you thank them for working with you. So chair up. I want to thank Stephen Pedro for helping me out with this class today. Now we're going to go ahead and bow out. Chair up. Great job on that class, guys. Have a great day.